Hello, welcome to Broken Grounds video series. Happy spring. I'm loving the fact that it's green in the garden, the spring bulbs are blooming, and we're almost getting ready to plant outside. So I'm Kareen, and today I want to talk to you about tilling versus not tilling your garden beds in preparation for spring planting. So I typically recommend that you not till your garden beds and you use the no-till gardening method. Why is that? Well, more and more studies are coming out year after year in terms of the soil, what's called the soil food web. So the symbiotic relationships that exist between the macroorganisms, things that we can see with our eyes, and the microorganisms in the soil. So there's a whole network of relationships that are happening beneath our feet that we probably only know a fraction about. But what we do know is that there are bacteria, there are fungi, there are protozoa, there are nematodes, there are all sorts of different microorganisms that exist in this soil food web that help make nutrients available to the plant. And in addition to that, there are all sorts of macroorganisms like beetles and earthworms and centipedes and spiders and mites that we can see that also contribute to this whole soil food web. So what happens when you till? Basically, when you till your garden bed, you essentially destroy that soil structure and all of those relationships that are existing in that soil. And so that's why they recommend that you not till, or you till as minimally as possible. So what happens if you have a bed that's kind of irregular, right? And in order to put seeds down, you need that to be a flat surface. So in that case, I would recommend that first, just take a hard rake and try to flatten that whole area out. Now, if that doesn't work, then you could take that garden fork and till as minimally as possible, maybe in the top 1 to 2 inches, in order to get that bed flat enough where you can create furrows in that bed in order to direct seed any plants that you want. So if you do find that your soil does need a little bit of extra aeration, then what you can do instead of tilling is just put the garden fork directly in the soil and just shift it around a little bit and open out pockets of air into the lower parts of the soil. And so that's something that you can do that doesn't require tilling, but there's still a little bit of aeration and reduces some of the compaction. And then what you do in the no-till gardening method is that you add compost to the top of the soil. You might scratch it in just a little bit, but you just add it to the top of the soil, and then that nutrient percolates down as you water those plants and you water that soil. And then you're also adding, if you can, a layer of mulch. So a layer of straw or leaves. This is after your seeds have germinated or after you've put the transplants in. You want to put that layer of straw or leaves around the plants and on top of the soil. This keeps in the soil moisture, which the plants prefer, and it kind of insulates that soil food web. So in that way, you're again mimicking more of a natural system, right? In a natural system, you're not tilling the soil. And so we're trying to mimic that as much as possible in our food producing systems. So that's what I would recommend. If you can, don't till the garden. It's less work, which is a great thing. The only exception to this, of course, would be if you are building a new bed and you need to, say, bust the sod first and get a rototiller in there, or use a garden fork to prep that bed for the first time that you've ever planted. So let me know if you have any questions. I know it's a large topic. The whole topic of soil is really large, and this whole idea of no-till gardening is quite extensive. So let me know if you have any questions by putting your questions in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching, and happy planting. I hope to see you soon.